Hi, I'm Micah, and welcome back to Internet Introvert. I want to give some uncommon INFP advice. So, we know the common advice like read, go outside, say yes to plans, blah 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 blah. I want to talk about some stuff that I, as an INFP, would give as advice to other INFPs. So, let's get straight into it with thing number one. Unlike this bottle here. INFPs. I see how many of us watch videos about INFPs. We need to learn about other personality types, or at the very least, about all of the cognitive functions, especially ones that are not included in our top four. I have noticed an actual shift in the quality of my interactions with other people by knowing more about the cognitive functions and by knowing about the cognitive functions that they use based on their personality type. Let's go with one of the weakest functions in an INFP's stack. Extroverted sensing. I did not realize how terrible I was at extroverted sensing until looking it up. What is extroverted sensing? Let's get a little definition. Extroverted sensing defines the individual's ability or inability to exercise his willpower and energy in opposition to the will and energy of other people. Extroverted sensing occurs when a person is primarily aware of the external world and all its details. They act on present experience and concrete data to produce the desired results and let go of everything else, past experiences and future consequences. I love the willpower definition especially because extroverted sensing, in my opinion, is a very dominant function. And I believe that my mother is an extroverted sensor, and we're working together to build her social media as an influencer. And I realized by working with her that her energy seems jittery and jumpy sometimes, and also sometimes a bit forceful, which FI does not like. And I would wonder, why do we always seem to clash? Why does she, when we're working together, upset me so quickly versus other people? And it's because that extroverted sensing energy and that dominating energy and that present moment, let's get this, let's do this now kind of energy. But by understanding now what extroverted sensing is, and that is not, they're not necessarily thinking about, your FI feelings, your FI values, it's easier now to understand their behavior, and it's easier now to understand her behavior and rationalize it and kind of speak that language back to her and to be less offended by certain behaviors. It also works with my relationship with myself. Having low SE, I realized that as an INFP, for me, I'm so scared to go into new situations, like going to an unfamiliar grocery store. Scary. But by understanding and being knowledgeable about what that is, I can choose now to make a decision based on what that cognitive function is. And knowing that it is weak in me, I can consciously try to build a habit to make it stronger. It's never going to be consciously super strong in the way that it is in a dominant S user. But we can build habits, which is something I love to talk about. We have to see all of the traits, all of the different cognitive functions as ways of living. And the ones that we aren't super great at, we could just develop habits that look like that behavior, which will help make us more well-rounded people. Number two, it is okay to use your imagination for slight escapism because there is a benefit, which is it lets you know what you'd like to change about your life right now. It lets you know what about the present moment you are not enjoying. As INFPs, we feel like sometimes, we use our imagination to escape, and that may be a bad thing because we're moving away from reality. But it's okay to drift away from reality sometimes into fantasy because it lets you know what about your reality you don't like. And then you could take more concrete steps and actions to change that. If you find yourself drifting away and dreaming of a perfectly aesthetic Instagram type lifestyle where you have a beautiful apartment with white walls, you're eating yogurt and fruits every morning, you do yoga, and that's not what your actual current reality looks like. It's letting you know that there is a disconnect between what you want and what you have. And by using that time to just drift away, you can now see, okay, how can I get these things that I want? This is what I want, this is what will make me happier. So let me pay attention to that. I'm not just trying to escape, I'm not just doing maladaptive daydreaming. There are things that I want in life, and how can I bring it here? Why not use the daydreaming that we do naturally as our means of self-exploration, as a means of learning more about ourselves so that we can make ourselves happier in the future, in the physical reality too. My third and final point that I want to talk about in this video, we can actually benefit from mindfulness slash spiritual practices. I have definitely benefited from that. I would see all these articles about meditation, this meditation, that, and all these YouTubers talking about it too. And I never really gave it a fair shot. But I think that INFPs, especially the turbulent ones like myself, we really could benefit. I found that 15 minutes is that sweet spot for me, where I want more, but like I also feel like I've gotten enough. But we just need that time to just become detached from our thoughts, especially if your life is a bit stressful. Like my life feels a bit emotionally stressful right now. It's really good to meditate and just detach from that a bit, because we have such active minds. Like, so many things are happening in our minds as INFPs. Sometimes we just need to shut that down, shut it off, meditate, separate. And I did that last night, and it really helped. I mean, journaling also helps. So that's another mindfulness practice that you could do. Just get all the thoughts down. You know, get into affirmations, do an affirmation rampage. I also did that last night. Just a whole rampage of like everything that was in my brain that was causing me fear and anxiety and annoying me and making me feel sad and making me feel angry. Just affirmations against it. Get into it, especially the turbulent INFPs. If you want to get into the law of attraction or the law of assumption, I feel like it's easier for a lot of INFPs to venture into that realm. I think we like to create our own belief systems as well. So do that. I think we really could benefit. For me, that inferior TE really comes for me. The inferior TE and the critical parent NI, so the inferior extroverted thinking and the critical parent introverted intuition, really causes the thoughts in here for me to be very based on productivity, and it's based on me not being productive enough, and then thinking about how things were in the past, and it's just, and how the things in the past are going to repeat themselves. I think it's good to create a belief system that goes against that and that lets you know that everything is going to be okay. But as you all can see, like literally I'm sweating buckets right now. So I think I'm going to end the video off here. If you haven't seen this video here, I'm an INFP in an ESTJ world. It was not the best organized video, like pretty rambling. But I basically gave my INFP life story. And I got a few comments saying that people were able to relate it. So check that video out. I'll see you all over there. And I hope that you are able to apply one or two at least of this uncommon advice and you see the value in it. Thank you very much.